Have you ever wondered why there's a stigma around calling someone an artist or calling someone talented? I would say growing up, I've always felt unfit or sometimes even ashamed, as if I'm a fraud when someone called me an artist or if they told me that they think I'm talented. It took me a really long time to feel that my artwork is good enough for recognition. And a lot of times I look at my own artwork and I don't want to show it to anyone because I'm afraid that they're going to judge it or judge me. As I got to know more and more people, I learned that I'm not alone in feeling this way. A lot of people suffer through self-doubt and imposter syndrome. After university, I worked in the technology professional services industry. Essentially what that means is that I build digital products for companies and organizations, and I hand it off to their IT team after my team has completed the project. Sometimes that could be a website, it could be a mobile app, it could be backend API services without any user interface. There's a ton of self-doubt and imposter syndrome in this industry as well. I would say a lot of people probably think it's more so working in software or hardware engineering industry as a woman comparing to maybe being an artist. But for me personally, in comparison, I personally suffered way more self-doubt and imposter syndrome about my art, about being an artist, than my ability to serve my clients or build digital products or build software. This took me a very long time to figure out why. I believe as humans, we're wired to seeking validation. When we're little, as toddlers, we want to see our parents smile, to praise us. As students growing up, we get graded by teachers. And then later on, as adults in workforce, we go through performance evaluations. So I believe with my job as a technology consultant, or later as my current role is director of software engineering, I get evaluated constantly on my ability to serve my clients, and the improvements is visible. So I started to build my confidence level as a consultant, individual contributor, working on software products, and now as a manager, an engineering manager in the software industry. I know when I became better at doing my job. But being an artist, with my artwork, I don't have that because it is so subjective in that a person A could consider what is creative or artistic, a person B could consider to be rubbish and immature. There is rarely that objectivity when it comes to evaluating art. Because when it comes to evaluating a piece of software, when there are users love it, or when there are stakeholders think this design is awesome, you get validation. You know that you're on the right path. But when it comes to evaluating art, how do you know you're on the right path? So what ended up clicking for me is a simple mental shift to build confidence. And that is to create a definition for myself and stick to it. So the definition that I have created for myself, which I'm sticking to, is that being an artist means continuously making art. Becoming better means I have been improving my skills as an artist through practicing, studying, or constant learning. That is my primary goal, and it isn't determined by any outside factors. I am in full control of prioritizing my time to dedicate to practicing art and thus becoming better at becoming an artist. No one can stop me from doing this other than myself. My secondary goal is determined by things that I can influence, but are not directly within my control. So these are things such as selling my art, getting my art promoted by other events, organizers, curators, getting my artwork being displayed at exhibitions, or things such as building an online art community who are interested in my art, meeting people online through tools such as Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, or YouTube, and meeting people, strangers on the internet who are interested in learning about my art journey. Building this art community helps me grow and evolve as an artist as well, because people encourage me. Another thing that's really important to building confidence is that it's really important to have a starting point, a point in which you can vividly recall that you began this journey, a rough date that you will be evaluating yourself against, a rough date that you remember that that's the date I am starting. And for me, that particular moment is the end of the year 2021. That's when I got laid off from my company. I felt heartbroken when my team was let go, including myself. I've suffered through seasonal affective disorder since university, and during that winter, I felt extremely vulnerable. I decided to turn to making art. Through continuously making art, it has really helped me rebuild my confidence. I think it's not just in making art, but also in believing in myself. We're all individuals with many, many dimensions. I used to believe that the moment I picked a career in building software, I can no longer be an artist. But honestly, the only person who decided that is myself. Honestly, I'm wrong all the time also, so I'm now regretting that decision. I regret having that mindset that because I'm building software, I cannot be practicing art. I also used to think that only people with exceptional skills can be called artists. But who on earth is born with exceptional skills? I don't really believe in you're talented at birth. Everyone's perception of exceptional skills vary tremendously as well. I think someone's really talented with exceptional skills differs from yours. So to build confidence, we need to ground reasoning within a confined scope. We need to try our best to ignore the outside influences and perceptions and just focus on being a better version of ourselves compared to that same person yesterday. Did I draw something new today? Was it enjoyable? Did I feel accomplished after making it compared to before making it? Was the process satisfying? Do I still enjoy making art? Yes, 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 and yes. Okay, I'm all good. As an engineering manager, I frequently conduct one-on-ones with others. The purpose has always been either to develop their competence or confidence level at work. I know that I'm actually pretty good at this because there's evidence to suggest that I'm good at doing this. There's evidence to suggest that the people I work with are indeed becoming better and better at doing their job and building their own confidence at work. The reason this all works out is because there's an objective measurement. Because even if there isn't a framework that employees need to follow, as senior leaders of the organization, you know what you want to achieve, and you can set up a framework that everyone should follow and reference when evaluating their own performance. This is how everyone gets promoted and how everyone gets incentives year after year working at organizations. And I also noticed, because I did exactly that at a smaller company, when the roles are not defined, and I was the one who helped to define them, as well as what is quality work in that role, so that we all know how to evaluate ourselves when we are performing in that role. But think about it, when you are working as an artist, you are your own boss and you are often operating independently. You may not get the luxury to work with many peers or people who will be open to share candid feedback with you to help you improve. And you don't often sit down and think about, am I getting better or worse now? What's my next milestone or goal as an artist? The problem is, when you don't do this regularly, it's really easy to feel that you aren't that great. It's really easy to lose confidence the moment you hear someone telling you that they don't like your artwork. And you may also take that really personally and feel that they don't like you. So what's the solution? Well, on the basis of my own definition of what an artist is, which is someone who continuously practicing art, and also on my own definition of what becoming better is, which is someone who is improving their art through learning, through practicing. What I now need to establish is how to measure that improvement. So personally, I measure myself by recording my drawing and painting process. By recording, I can keep track of when the art was created and how it was created. So then I know how my art has evolved and hopefully improved. Using my own sketchbook, I'm able to see how I have learned new tools and practice using them. I'm able to see visually hatchings and lines from immaturity to maturity. When you know you have been improving as an artist, you will actually inevitably build your confidence. It's going to be a very, very gradual process, but I guarantee you that it will also be incredibly fulfilling. But don't get me wrong, there could be a million reasons to draw and continue to draw. It doesn't have to be because you want to build your confidence. I draw for fun all the time. I draw when I'm bored. I draw when I have nothing else urgent to do. I draw at the end of the day to relax. Sometimes I draw to impress. I draw to demonstrate. There can be more than one reason to practice art. Building your confidence can be the icing on the cake for you. Thanks for watching, and hope you can share your thoughts with me in the comments down below. Enjoy!